Flat Out Truth Terry is at it again in another debunking video. Then we're going to move forward with the long presentation covering all the nonsense with Charlie Kirk, with many individuals involved. I'm going to break it all down. Things that no one else has covered, I'm going to show in my follow-up video. Let's get right to it. This is going to basically take care of two things at once. Terry's nonsense with the whole hologram chair. I'm going to break this all down. But first off, let's listen to what Terry, Flat Out Truth, has to say about this scene from the whole entire Charlie Kirk debacle.
To show you how this chair glitches right through the table in the area where this hologram is taking place. As you can see right here up close, the seat of the chair glitches right through the top of that table, just disappears right through it.
Now, this is a very interesting aspect, as I covered in this video portion from my last video, where I show the under the canopy, and obviously you see the chair here and the table. Obviously, this is a physical table that we see here, a physical chair. And let's take a look here as I move this cursor forward. We're going to get a little bit more of a better view. And what I believe is happening, we'll back it up here, is video compression. The video quality is so bad, and it basically starts to distort things. If you had a good quality visual without all that cloudiness, the darkness that takes place here, we'll get to it right here. First off, obviously, play this slowly. This is the chair that Charlie is sitting on. And as I move it slowly, you're going to see it obviously with Mr. Muscle Man taking him down here. Charlie fall with the chair. Now again, this is very bad quality. What you're going to see is one of the goons here, he pushes Charlie's chair off, and obviously it's going to land back on this platform table that basically Charlie was sitting on the chair on this table to be elevated, I guess, to be seen by the audience at a better angle. Now take a look here. Now, if this, obviously this table is a hologram, this guy wouldn't be able to stand on it. There's things obviously on the table. But the question is the chair. So, Charlie was sitting on a physical chair. And there are people out there, such as Flat Out Truth Terry, who claims it's a hologram chair. So it went from a real chair to a hologram chair. So we're going to see happening here, as everybody gets around, circles around Charlie, you're going to see one person push the chair off. So you cannot push a hologram, and this happens right here. You see that? It's being pushed because it's on top of Charlie. And no trapdoor. I covered that in my last video. I exposed the trapdoor nonsense already. But you see it's being flipped off and lands on the table, the platform table that Charlie's chair was on, of course, sitting on. And let me back up here. I'm going to play at normal speed. We'll get a better idea. But again, I believe what's happening here is video compression. Let's take a look. The guy stands on it, and a person just throws it off. And it does, I have to admit, of course, it does look like it's going right in to this platform table. Let's stop the video here. I'm going to get a nice close-up. Here's a little bit of a close-up. You can't get a close-up too much. When you do that, it basically makes everything look really blurry. So you have to balance it where you want to get a close-up, but not too much of a close-up. But it definitely looks like it's going right through this platform table. But like I mentioned earlier, it was pushed over the platform table by someone over here. So you can't push a hologram. So my thinking here is this is simply what it comes down to. It's video compression. And again, let's take a look here as this guy's standing on the table. He jumps around. I'm going to, again, my next video, I'm going to cover this guy here. I'm going to cover a lot of individuals, actually, my next video. But again, you're going to see what looks like someone pushed the chair right here. You see it right here being pushed onto the platform. and it falls over. And it's so hard to see. If we had a really good, sharp, obviously 1080p video, we can really see what's happening here. But not to be repetitive, I believe this is video distortion. It could be that the chair is on the other side of the table, like I shown here earlier. While the goons were over here, when they're pushing the chair, it could have been wrapped around to make it look like it's going through the table. But yeah, I understand why people believe that. You know, I really do, because that's the visual we see. Definitely looks like it here. Definitely these legs of the chair are not on this side, because obviously these individuals are on the other side of this table. So if anything, these legs are on the other side of the table to give the illusion like it's going through. But in the end, I believe it's video compression that makes it appear to be going through. Now let's move forward here with Terry's next theory. He has many theories, but not much truth or evidence of anything. Because like I said before, he's going to show one angle here of Charlie. I said it before, you have to work with multiple pieces of evidence, multiple pieces of proof to come to a solid conclusion. Look for different angles. Look for different sources so you can break it down to different angles. I'm going to play Terry's video, then I'll break down this nonsense that he's pushing here. Let's give it a look.
What do you see on the neck? What do you see on the shirt? Nothing.
That's because you have this portion of this table blocking the area. Okay, this is why you don't see anything here. And obviously he was leaning over. That's why it's only on one side. And I'll prove that without a shadow of a doubt. Let's play a little bit more, then I'll break it down.
Where'd the blood go? Where'd the bullet hole go? Where'd all the blood go? Went on the shirt.
And this is very easy to explain. I broke it all down on my Rumble channel over 2 weeks ago with this vantage point from the back parking lot, the staging area. Explain it again here. As you see them hauling off Charlie Kirk into the SUV. And what you're going to see here, obviously, is the red color on Charlie Kirk's shirt. As I mentioned before on my Rumble channel, on the complete breakdown, what happened here, you had the blood pack. It was just enough to exert a certain amount of that blood. And it's only covering this part of the shirt. And that's it. That's all the blood pack had. It was a smaller size blood pack. That's why there's nothing on his body. His shoes are white as snow. And again, this is clear. Like I mentioned earlier, the reason you didn't see it was that table blocking it here. Remember, Charlie Kirk was leaning to one side. It was only coming out at one side. And that's exactly why you don't see it on the front of his shirt here. Okay, let's not get this all confused and distorted. Here's a little bit more of a close-up. And again, I broke this down thoroughly with everybody involved. You know, with Frank Turek here, the female down here with the phone. I'm going to go more in details, like I said, in my next video that will be uploaded tonight. But again, let's take a look here. Kind of blurry. But you see here again. There it is. So don't tell me he had a white shirt when they took him away. To make it clear once again, that's all that blood pack contained. Just enough to give some color. And that was it. That's why, again, there's nothing on his body whatsoever. But definitely, you have to be blind, Terry, and Terry's followers if you don't see the red color shirt here. And again, this is only on one side because he was leaning on one side. So to conclude, everything's easily explained for those that do proper research. Look at many different angles, not just using one, Terry. You love to use one angle and only one angle to break things down. I use multiple. That's the difference between you and I. I'm not just this one trick pony using one angle to try to, quote, expose something. You have to look deeper. You have to research further. You have to, again, look for different angles. And then from there, you come to a much more clear and solid conclusion. And don't forget, Terry Flat Out Truth, he made 2 videos at the start of this, telling everybody how real it was, breaking it all down. And then he goes on to say it's all a hologram. He went from one end of the spectrum to the exact opposite end. And his analysis on the whole Charlie Kirk debacle is just poorly done, poorly orchestrated on his side. And there's no excuse for that. If you're going to put out content, you got to do the proper work, not sloppy, lazy work. If you want to really be in truth, you got to go all in or you got to go all out.
John chapter 9, verse 25. Whereas once I was blind, now I can see. Now I can see.